Hello, hi, and welcome to the Gracie Gatto podcast. I want to tell you about a Wednesday morning in April. On that Wednesday, the New Hampshire Senate killed a bill for the third time. A bill that asks hospitals, police departments, and crisis centers to hand a sexual assault survivor a small card. A palm card. Wallet-sized. It just lists the rights they already have under state law. On that same Wednesday, Representative Ellen Reed, the bill's sponsor, a 10-year veteran of the House, a woman who has personal, documented, irreversible reasons to need this bill to exist, was formally banned from the chamber, from her own office, from the gallery, and the entire recorded history of New Hampshire. No representative had ever been formally banished from the building. Through the American Revolution, through the Civil War, through Prohibition, through every scandal, every hot mic, every anti-Semitic whispers and until that Wednesday, until Ellen had reached out to people she trusted. She asked for witnesses, she asked for cameras, she asked for voices. She asked in that particular way that people who have been fighting for 3 years and watching it die again ask. She asked for getting help, just getting the story out. The women in this fight have been called a lot of things. Erratic, unhinged, chaotic, hysterical, inappropriate, emotional. There's a whole vocabulary for women who hold receipts and refuse to put them down. And at some point, you just decide, fine, if having the evidence makes me an agent of chaos, hand me the damn badge. So, that's this episode. The evidence, all of it, on the record. So sit tight, this is going to be a hell of a show. This is the Gracie Gatto podcast, and this is the anatomy of a political execution. So let's talk about the palm card. Let me catch you up on this. So House Bill 1633 is one of the simplest bills ever introduced in the New Hampshire legislature. It is sponsored by Representative Ellen Reed of Newmarket, a 10-year veteran of the House, and it does exactly just one thing. One thing. It requires hospitals, police departments, crisis centers, and prosecutors' offices to hand a sexual assault survivor a palm card, a little card, a wallet-sized, discreet. And what does that card say? It lists the rights that survivors already have under existing New Hampshire law, and that's it. Rights that are already on the books, rights that legislature already passed, rights that in 44 other states, somebody figured out how to put it on a card. Thank you, Canva. Now, that's the bill. That's the whole bill. A card. That's it. Now, the New Hampshire Department of Justice itself says approximately 1,000 New Hampshire residents every year walk into a hospital after an assault and walk out with zero evidence collected. Not because they didn't qualify or not because they didn't want it, because nobody told them they could have it. 1,000 a year in a state of 1.4 million. The bill has passed the full New Hampshire House 3 times. The most recent margin was 340 to 1. In the one dissenting vote, according to in New Hampshire, or NH. This week, that lone nay belongs to the former chair of the only organization that has ever opposed this bill, Rep. Eileen Kelly. We call you out. That organization is the New Hampshire Coalition Against Domestic and Sexual Violence, the NHCADSV. And before we go any further, I want to say their name out loud, and I want everyone listening to remember it. Because when a nonprofit, with their funding and their mission, spends 3 years fighting a bill to tell survivors about their own rights, you are no longer looking at an advocacy organization. You are looking at a gatekeeper. A right kept secret is not a right. That's Ellen Reed's line. We are going to earn it by the end of this hour. Now let's talk about the big lie. No. All right, breathe. Whew. This is where my journalism brain starts twitching. Ellen writes, and I'm going to trust her and I've been tracking this for a while now, so let's get to it. Before that Senate Judiciary Committee hearing on HB 1633, senators were told repeatedly by the New Hampshire Coalition Against Sexual and Domestic Violence, lobbyists and affiliates, that the bill was about letting sexual assault survivors take rape kids home with them from the hospital. So let me say that again with my indoor voice so we can all savor it. They told grown, elected, presumably literate United States state senators that this bill was about letting assault survivors walk out of an emergency room with a biohazard box of their own forensic evidence under one arm like a fucking Costco rotisserie chicken. That is not in the bill. It has never been in the bill. And there is no good faith reading of the bill that produces that interpretation. There's not. There is no bad faith reading that gets you there either, without deliberately lying. We call you out. Ellen met with the chair of the Senate Judiciary Committee the day after the hearing. He confirmed that this is what he and other senators had been told by the lobbyist before the hearing. As the operative theory of what the bill does. So let's line up the facts. That's a lot. So let's go, Exhibit A, the hearing. So let's talk about the hearing. 4 sexual assault survivors were given 3 minutes apiece to testify. 12 minutes total for the people the bill exists to protect. Exhibit B, the opposition, essentially one organization plus its affiliates, plus a representative of New Hampshire Attorney General's office, got 20 minutes. And then they got called back at the end for a second turn. 10 times the airtime of the actual survivors. Exhibit C, the lobbyists were telling senators the bill did something it does not do and has never done. Exhibit D, the one House vote against this bill out of 340 to 1 belongs to the former chair of the same organization running the disinformation campaign, Rep. Eileen Kelly. And Exhibit E, the one nobody is talking about loudly enough yet. The Attorney General's office testified against the bill. I'm going to come back to that one. Set it on the shelf, let it age a bit, because it's a lot. Because first, we need to talk about what happened to Ellen. So Ellen got banned for a word. So Ellen is standing in the hallway outside the Senate Judiciary Committee hearing. She is, and I remind you, herself a sexual assault survivor. She disclosed this publicly in her op-ed this week, and you should read it. That piece with both hands. 4 years ago, she went to a hospital after her own assault. She demanded to be tested for date rape drugs. She was denied. She fought for it. She was denied again. She walked out of that hospital, having lost forever her chance to collect evidence to seek justice and to be believed, with proof in her hand, because nobody told her she had the right. Because the ER staff didn't know the right existed, so they didn't know to tell her she had it. That is the woman in the hallway, watching it happen again, watching 4 more survivors get 12 minutes total. Well, the people who helped bury her case get 20 plus a second bite. And she said one word, alone in a hallway. Fuck. And for that word in the hallway, the Speaker of the House has made her the first representative in New Hampshire history to be formally banned from the chamber, from the gallery, and from her own office anteroom on non-session days. In the entire recorded history of this state, through the American Revolution, through the Civil War, through Prohibition, through every scandal, every affair, every hot mic moment, every inappropriate handshake, every anti-Semitic remark, every whispered deal in the men's room, no representative has ever been formally banished from the building. Until now, until Ellen. And here's a name I want in your mouth. The person who reported her, the person who flagged the expletive to leadership, according to Ellen's own team, it was Jody Gramillas, a lobbyist associated with the NHCIDSV, the same organization that told senators the bill would let survivors take rape kits home. The same organization whose former chair cast the lone no vote in the House. So let me be very precise about what happened. A sexual assault survivor watching her own bill die from a disinformation campaign run by the same organization that failed her when she was assaulted. Said one word in a hallway, and the lobbyist running that disinformation campaign reported her. Fuck. And the Speaker of the House agreed that that was the emergency, not the 1,000 women a year walking out of hospitals with nothing. Not the lies told to the senators, not the 12 minutes versus 20. The word, the woman, the swear. The playbook for silencing women who name what they see is older than New Hampshire's Constitution. New words for hysterical women. Same old play. Burn the witch. Follow the money. Now, because this is where the episode stops being a tragedy and starts being a documented corruption story. I have in my possession a draft letter. It is dated April 17th, 2026. It is addressed to the Attorney General of New Hampshire, John Formella. It is written in the voice of Representative Ellen Reed. And it is public interest information. Much of it is already public record. The letter itself is a document this show obtained. And every question it raises is a question the Attorney General's office is going to have to answer in writing whether they want to or not. Here's the first bombshell. A member of the New Hampshire Attorney General's office, the letter names Jeffrey Strelzin, personally testified against House Bill 1633 before the Senate. His cited reason, according to the letter, that the bill might cause unintended consequences. Unintended consequences of handling a survivor a palm card, listing rights that already exist in state law. The consequence that you are worried about, Mr. Strelson, is that a survivor might know her rights. I cannot think of another way to read that. And the letter asked publicly on the record to the Attorney General's office the question that has been sitting in my throat for over a year, and that is, why are members of the Attorney General's office lobbying against a bill on behalf of a private non-profit that would simply tell survivors about a law that the very same private non-profit lobbied to pass in 2016? This is not a rhetorical question. That is a question that deserves an answer in writing from the chief law enforcement officer of this state. Bombshell number 2. Jody Grambillis, the lobbyist who reported Ellen for the expletive, made campaign donations in 2023 and 2024 to members of the same state Senate that was voting on the bill her organization opposes. The draft letter cites public Secretary of State records. These are searchable. These are not allegations. These are reportable donations. I could send you a link. The questions the draft letter raises are the ones that make lawyers earn their money. 1. The NHCA-DSV is a 501c3 under federal tax law. A 501c3 is categorically prohibited from using state and federal funds to lobby for or against legislation. The NHCA-DSV receives substantial public funding. 2. When a lobbyist who works on behalf of a 501c3 makes personal campaign donations to the very senators voting on that 501c3's priority legislation, the letter raises the question of whether those donations should be scrutinized as potential straw contributions. Straw donations, for those new to this corner of the bar over here, are illegal. Full stop. 3. Can a state Senate vote fairly on legislation when a lobbyist from the organization opposing that legislation has been donating to members of that very Senate? The letter asks, I am asking, you should be asking, right? So in bombshell number 3, the one I keep turning over like a stone in my hand because it is perfectly, almost cosmically cruel. The NHCA-DSV lobbied to pass the Survivors' Rights Law in 2016. They wrote it, they pushed it, they cheered when it passed. Then, starting in 2022 or so, they spent 3 years fighting the bill that would actually tell survivors those rights exist. They secured rights they did not want anyone to know about. If you ever wondered what gatekeeping looks like in one sentence, that's it. And that is the entire sentence. The letter also notes something extraordinary. When NHCA-DSV representatives and SANE nurses, the sexual assault nurse examiners, testified at the House committee, they themselves were apparently unaware of a 2020 New Hampshire law prohibiting over-the-counter rape kits. A law NHCA-DSV had lobbied to pass. Their own people didn't know the law they helped write. If the professionals whose job it is to know the law don't know the law, what hope does a terrified survivor at 2 a.m. in an emergency room have? A right kept secret is not a right. And in New Hampshire, apparently, some organizations like it that way. Let's talk about the pattern. So let's zoom out with me for a second. Because if this were just one bill, one committee, one lie, that would already be the scandal that defines a legislative session. But this is not one bill. This is a pattern. The pattern goes like this. A woman in New Hampshire, civic life, speaks plainly, refuses to play ball. To borrow Ellen's phrase, she has the wrong manners, the wrong tone, the wrong friends, the wrong questions. She is called erratic, unhinged, inappropriate, emotional, hysterical, chaotic. None of those words are ever about the bill. None of them are ever about the merits. None of them are ever about the evidence. They are, all of them, every single time, about the woman. I've been tracing this pattern on the show for months. We all have. Ellen lives inside of it. Every counselor, every rep, every whistleblower, every reporter in this state who names what she gets. The same treatment from the same playbook run by the same class of people. And I want to be precise about what I am saying. I am not saying every senator is corrupt. I'm not saying every NHCA DSV staffer is acting in bad faith, because they're not. Some of them, I believe, are devoted people doing the work, doing the honest work inside an organization whose leadership has lost the plot. I'm not even saying every person who voted no on this bill is bought. Some of them apparently didn't even read the damn thing. Or they thought they were voting on a completely different bill, which is its own flavor of civic tragedy. What I am saying is this. When the same organization, funded in significant part by public dollars, with a 501c3 tax status, with a lobbyist making campaign donations to senators, with allies in the Attorney General's office testifying against survivor legislation. When that configuration of power kills the same bill for 3 years in a row, while the organization's own former chair cast the lone no vote, we are not looking at a difference of opinion on policy. Jesus. We're looking at an influence machine, and influence machines don't reform themselves. They get pried open by journalists. Nom, 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 nom. And representatives and podcasters and researchers who refuse to be sorted into reasonable and chaotic based on whether we'll shut up. Agents of chaos. You don't. You know, I don't have to leave you without something to do with your hands. This is the Gracie Gatto podcast. We move. Okay, 1. Read Ellen's op-ed. I'll link it in the show notes. It's in-depth NH. Nancy West is running the only statewide investigative shop that consistently touches this kind of story, and she deserves a shout out and your subscription dollars. Number 2, subscribe to my show. Just kidding. No, seriously. But seriously, number 2, call your state senator. Any senator, ask them on the record whether they were told that HB 1633 was about take-home rape kits. Ask them who told them. Get the name, send it to me. 3, look up Jody Grumbillis on the New Hampshire Secretary of State Campaign Finance Database. The donations are public. See who received the money and ask those senators in writing how they can vote on NHCA-DSV's opposed legislation without a conflict of interest disclosure. Make them answer on letterhead. 4, ask the Attorney General's office, John Formilla's office, specifically why Jeffrey Strautzen testified against a survivors' rights bill on behalf of a private nonprofit and ask for it in writing. Ask for a written answer. The letter from Ellen's team is going in the same direction on the same letterhead principle in the next few days. 100 letters amplifies 1. 5. The IRS has a form for reporting 501c3 lobbying violations. It's form 13909, so Google that. The legal scrutiny of the NHCADSB's lobbying practice is a conversation whose time has come, and it will not happen unless citizens like you withstanding file the paperwork. Number 6, follow Ellen's work, follow my work, follow Stacey Brown's work, subscribe to our channel. This is the podcast, and please subscribe to the Substack, and please donate to our investigative work. It feeds me. I'm a mama. I have a son. I have a cat. Please. Your support is truly the only reason the machine can't simply starve me out. Please subscribe. 7. And this one is only for you, listener. Whoever you are, if you've ever walked out of a hospital in New Hampshire wondering why nobody told you what you were entitled to, I'm sorry. Or we're going to fix that. The 340 representatives who voted yes on this bill 3 times, see you. The senators who interim studied it to death, the organization that lobbied against it for 3 years while cashing public checks, the prosecutor who warned of unintended consequences, the speaker who banned the woman who fought for you. They don't see you yet, but we're going to make them. Subscribe to the Grace and Gatto podcast. Ellen ended her op-ed with a line I cannot stop thinking about. A right kept secret is not a right. 8 words. The whole philosophy of this bill, the whole philosophy of this show, the whole philosophy of what I have been trying to build with every post, every episode, every filing, every time I put my name on a piece of journalism that could cost me something. A right kept secret is not a right. A law kept secret is not a law. A donation kept secret is not a donation. A prosecutor testifying against a survivor's bill in plain daylight is not a secret. It just acts like one because nobody reports on it. So we report on it. A woman kept silent is not silent. She is not being silent, or she is being silenced. There is a verb there. There is a perpetrator there. There is a choice somebody is making every day to keep her from speaking. So we speak, even when it's one word, even when it's in a hallway, even when they ban us from the chamber, even when they call us agents of chaos and the state has it out for all of us and our children are on the line and our hands are shaking at 1:58 in the afternoon. We speak. Fuck. Until there are no more secrets. This has been the Grace and Gatto podcast. Please like and subscribe.